Okay, as you can see, I've got everything out of the trailer basically, that all my supplies and parts, miscellaneous stuff. And I've got my floor all ready to go. Got my cut box all set up. Something I find easier is to mark, and I pre-drill all of my holes. Just makes it easier when you're down on the floor. And those are my floor joists, 12 footers. All right, this is going to be a multi-part video today, so this is number one. Be back shortly. All right, floor joists are all in. My subfloor is in. I'm gonna cut some bracing here in a few minutes. I'm not going to attach it to the floor yet, just because I want the lumber to find its way to the floor. In other words, I want it to acclimate itself before I go throwing screws in the floor to kind of hold it. Once I put the blocking in, it'll be fine. But overnight, I'll allow it to, for these long 12 footers to kind of find themselves. And that's that. So I'll be back. Let me put my blocking in. Okay, made myself a little mill right here. I put some 2x4s across to give me a place to work on. And now I'm going to start cutting my blocking, get those put in. Just wanted to show you my setup. This works out pretty good. And I just keep them in the truck out there until I need them. Just bring them on in. All right, I'll be back. Okay. Subfloor is all done. Starting to clean up now. I'm going to tie it into the floor back there. And looking good. Still got to bring all my shit back in, but all right, I'll check back in here in a little while. Okay, subfloor is done. It is done. I had to bring in all the stuff because it looks like it might rain, and it's also getting kind of dark in here. It may not look like it on the video, but it's pretty dark in here. But my friends, we are cooking here, buddy. Tomorrow, I'm gonna get the shower enclosure. I'm gonna frame in my walls for the bathroom, and that's about it. Probably get that done tomorrow. The bed's all done. May work on the utility room a little bit tomorrow. And actually, I may not do the shower enclosure tomorrow. I may do my electrical work that needs to be done so I can finish up the framing. And then maybe Tuesday I'll get the shower enclosure. And then I want to do a couple of end runs with some electrical wire and do some drops down on the wall and get them secured. Then maybe Friday I can have the thing spray foamed, but that's probably not going to happen because I gotta, well, who knows. What I plan on doing is everything in here has to come out, and I'll probably just tarp it all right back here. No big deal. I mean, if anybody wants to come and steal it, I don't give a fuck. But they're gonna have to deal with the dogs. They're gonna have to deal with the owner. So I'm not too concerned about it. But yeah, man, she's coming along. I think I got a lot done today. May not seem like it. Put my gray water tanks under there. There's no reason to have them inside anymore. I gotta get these tools brought up front. I'm gonna try to keep this room. Like I said, the bed frame's all done. So pretty pleased. Pretty pleased with everything. There's a shot from back here. Yeah. So anyway, there's a shot from my compartment from the other side. Anyway, yep. Now this floor right here gets a 2-inch layer of insulation, so this floor gets raised up 2 inches plus 3/4, so 2 3/4, which is half of what that's going to be. You can see the wheel wells are now boxed in. There's about an inch, and so what I'll be doing is, since there'll be cabinets all the way down on top of these wheel wells that you won't see, I'm actually going to build, you know how you have a kick plate on your kitchen cabinets? I'm actually going to build that up so that I at least get 2, maybe 3 inches of spray insulation on top of my wheel wells, because those wheel wells essentially are right here. So, you know, in the cold weather, you got to be thinking about all this stuff. Anything that's exposed and like that, I mean, that would radiate some cold ass air right there, boy. Let me tell you, everything in that cabinet, or you know, would just be cold. So I'm gonna try to at least get 2 inches in there. Not a big deal. I just have to build the floor joist up another inch, very similar to what I did to the walls, so that when we spray in there, we end up with you know, 2 inches. So no big deal. This part of the floor gets all the plumbing, all the heat ducts, you know, any miscellaneous electrical stuff that I want to bring up front, water lines. And once all those are in place, all these cavities get filled with spray foam. So that whole floor will be insulated, and everything in it will be insulated. So, and don't forget that I'll be cutting holes anywhere that I can to not necessarily to lessen the weight, because I'm not too concerned about the weight issue right now. Got plenty of towing capacity. Trailer can hold 18,000 pounds. But why if it's not necessary? So all of those floor joists will have 4.5-inch holes drilled in them. About, I'd say, in a 4-foot section, I'll probably have 3 holes in it. So, I'm looking at about 1/3 less of the weight when I'm all done. Just from the floor joists. And, I could have gotten away with using, maybe some 1x, but, I mean, listen, if I wanted a crappy trailer, I would have bought an RV, already done. So this thing's going to be rocking and rolling. So right here is where my bathroom's going to go. I'll be framing that out, like I said, tomorrow. And I may go and get the enclosure. Not a big deal, because I'll leave that wall right there open so I can, take it in and out. But when I get it spray foamed, I want to be able to obviously spray the wall. And so basically what I'm going to do is I'm going to install the shower enclosure, screw it in and everything like that. When I take it to have it spray foamed, I'm going to unscrew it, have them spray the wall, spray the back side of the shower enclosure, and then push that fucker right up against the wall. That'll give me good insulation there. The walls on the interior, as far as the ones that come out into the middle of the room, I don't have to worry about those being insulated. But the fiberglass shower, it's one piece. I want to spray foam as much of it as I possibly can. It'll just help stiffen it up, is basically what I'm talking about. So we'll see how that goes. What else? I may go ahead and install me a couple of temporary lights. Bring some batteries over and hook them up, and at least, just so I have, some quick lights that I can hook up. I'm gonna have to bring the batteries. Nah, you know what? I may wait till next week, just because this is one less thing I have to move when I go to have it spray foamed. And of course, when I do those wires, all of that will be tucked up in there nice and neat, so won't be no issues with that. I've left, as you guys remember, I left plenty of room for these to go up in there and screw back onto them. So pretty stoked about that. And then of course, the walls here and my ceiling, so you won't even know it's there. And keep in mind, those wires, well, I'd say 90% of them are for, trailer lights and, the function of the trailer. So it's not something that I'll be, ever needing to mess with, of course, unless something goes wrong. The ones that are coming across here, like this one, that's for an interior light. They went ahead and ran the pigtails for me, which, thank you. The one down there already pulled out. The air conditioner, of course, is wired. You can see that. It's got the 110 that operates on 110. And that's coiled up back there in the back. I don't know if you can see it or not. Yeah, it's hanging right there, all ready to go into my breaker panel. And all right, I'm just talking now. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Have a good night. If you enjoyed the video, like and subscribe. Thank you.